Welcome back to school. So we are in week 17 of reading. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. You enjoyed your break and you're ready to get 2021 or 2021 off to a great start. Now, I know we are not uh, back to where we want to be. We're not in the school building. And I know in talking to a lot of you right before break, that's where you want to be. And I would like to be there too. As you can see, this is not school behind me. I am still at home as well. So we're going to make the best of this though, because we are in the second half of the year, which means we are halfway done. Right? The second half of the year is always a busy part of the year. We have a lot going on. It is time to kind of change gears a little bit and start going from learning new stuff to working on getting better at the stuff that we already have in our heads, the things that we've already learned during the first year of school. So this week, I thought we would come back to a little more of an interesting story. And I have a feeling that a lot of you will find this story interesting because it is talking about a real person. So we are going to be talking about a nonfiction story. And we are going to be focusing this week on visualizing. So if you have never heard of the word visualize, think of the first part, visual. Visual. That's talking about eyes. So we're actually talking about using our brain to come up with a picture of what the story is talking about. All right. So we have learned that when we deal with different types of genres of stories, that there's always one key specific idea or thing that we're looking for. So we're going to be reading a nonfiction story, and we are going to be reading about a guy that some of you may have heard about. His name is Vincent van Gogh. And Vincent van Gogh is one of the world's most famous painters. And you can't tell it from this copy because it's black and white, but Vincent van Gogh is known for being a very colorful painter. And what's so unique about him is that he was a painter in the 1800s. And in the 1800s, if you've ever seen anything from that time period, if you've ever had anything in history that's talked about that time period, you know that it was kind of blah, wasn't very colorful. And Vincent van Gogh was kind of unique for that time period. He used very bright and flashy colors. So this week, as we read, we are going to be taking a look at. We always talk about text features like the boldface print, the pictures, the glossary, the table of contents. We're going to be focusing on the text structure, and that's actually a new term for us, but you know what it is. We're going to be reading informational text. Nonfiction, in this case, is informational text. So our text structure is informational. Or another word for informational can be descriptive. Descriptive is describing. So when we're talking about visualizing, and when we're talking about an artist or a painter like Vincent van Gogh, if you look at this other picture that we have right here, okay, if we're talking about being descriptive, that means throughout this story, they are going to be using descriptive language. They're going to be using adjectives, words that describe nouns, describe person, place, thing, ideas. And the idea behind descriptive or informational text structure is allowing us to use the words to come up with pictures in our head so that we can visualize or better understand what this man, Vincent van Gogh, was trying to communicate through this story. So, this week's story, as you can see, is called Vincent's Bedroom. So, knowing that he was a very famous artist, a very famous painter, somebody who used a lot of color, we can already start to visualize what our story may be about, even though our picture that you're currently looking at is black and white. Now, when we get into the actual story, you'll have some color. Uh, to start off the week, sorry about that. To start off the week, we will take a look at the story on Monday and Tuesday. Miss Townsend has been very helpful, and she has found some activities for us to do on Wednesday to help us to get to better understand and appreciate and visualize Vincent van Gogh's paintings. And then, of course, we will do the famous reading A to Z with the story and quizzes on Thursday and Friday. Please use chat if you need help. Otherwise, looking forward to you getting to read about